Both of them without coats. It's in California.
Must be cold, I
The
guess.
handshake.
Pause.
These are
Why would they say that? Former Vice President Joe Biden and Xi Jinping, they met in San Francisco to discuss, I guess you would say, the fraying relations between the frigid relations between the two countries. Here's a montage.
both of them without coats. It's in California.
Must be cold, I
The
guess.
handshake.
Pause.
These are
Why would they say that?
Both of them.
Both of them without coats? Yeah, do you notice that other people in the video they also are not wearing coats? In other words, and if you're offering the qualifier, if someone said they're in California, no one would expect the next statement to be like, why aren't they wearing coats? It's like, oh, well, you said California, so clearly they're unlikely to be wearing coats unless it's an odd month.
And then it's 11:17 a.m., which is daytime.
Yes. Daytime, it's almost at peak sunlight in California.
What? Shut up.
In a mild month, no coats. Fine. Just in case you wondered why the media, is untrustworthy beyond, everything else they lie about. It just bothers me. Let's continue.
all of the important
They have the same
signals.
haircut.
Yes.
I look forward to having an in-depth exchange of views and reaching new understandings
Lincoln looks like he's
with
on
you on
meth, like
strategic
crack
and
or something,
overarching issues critical to the direction of China-US relations and on major issues
Is that Yellen?
affecting
Yeah, it's
world
Yellen.
peace and development.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, press. Thanks, guys. Great job, guys.
Okay. So,
They like me.
do you even think the Biden knew he was in that meeting? I mean,
I'm
you guys
not
can comment
sure.
below. He really just, poor guy.
That face looks like he's thinking, "Wow, I got to meet the president of China." No joke, folks.
Hey,
Favorite dictator.
there's so many Chinamen here.
Their eyes look like mine.
Hey, you're Chinese.
They squint too.
So the two sides, they were talking about a lot of issues, including Taiwan, with Xi saying there are no plans for military action, but at some point the situation needs to be resolved. Now, this is something that's pretty important to kind of see the compromises that are being made, considering how it affects you, the American citizen. China, communist China, is the greatest international threat to the United States. And I don't just mean militarily, I mean as far as your way of life. Former Vice President Biden, respect the office, will reportedly lift sanctions on China's Institute of Forensic Science. Now, so he's going to be lifting, this, and this is lifting sanctions. This is something that if you go to Reuters, I don't have time to explain all of it, pretty severe. We're doing this to appease China so that Xi will agree, and he did, to take steps to stop the flow of fentanyl precursors from China. So in other words, hey, let's sit at the negotiating table and make a deal over what is effectively a bioweapon that is killing off Americans in record numbers. Here's former Vice President Biden talking.
So today, with this new understanding, we're taking action to significantly reduce the flow of precursor chemicals and pill presses from China to the Western Hemisphere. It's going to save lives, and I appreciate President Xi's commitment on this issue. President Xi and I tasked our teams to maintain a policy and law enforcement coordination going forward to make sure it works.
No, that's fantastic. Just to kind of go back to the Institute of Science. This company was providing the technology and equipment that was necessary to go up and round up all of the Uyghurs, the Muslims.
Yep.
And we said, hey, this is probably a bad idea. We're not going to allow you to do this anymore. And so that's the kind of funding. That's the thing that we're rolling back. We're like, well, this is a really crappy company that's just got human rights abuses everywhere. But if you could just make sure that there's no way that we can possibly ever tell if you're upholding your end of the bargain by making these precursor compounds and sending them to Mexico that are killing American citizens, we'd be happy to go ahead and let this company do business as usual.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense.
Also, thank you for taking the mic from me because my breath smelled like a turtle cage after talking for 2 hours. Yeah.
Turtle cages don't smell.
I need to wash it down, get some mints, everything.
Well, do it. Take a nice sip.
But here's the thing. China's already done this before.
Yeah.
China has, when I say, I mean rye for the uninitiated.
Stop lying, Stephen.
Stop lying. Marble rye.
Yeah.
It's a marble lie. So here's the thing. In 2019, China, when you say, what do you mean they? The Chinese Communist government.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm saying they, yes, and I'm talking about a race of people, but mainly the government. Yeah. I empathize with the Chinese people, which is why I hate the Chinese communists. 2019, China officially cracked down on fentanyl.
Quote unquote.
That's what they told the international, oh, no, we don't want fentanyl. Come on.
No lie.
Come on. So that's 2019. U.S. fentanyl deaths since then, 2020, 56,000. 2021, 70,000. 2022, 73,000.
Yeah, it worked like a charm.
Yeah.
So with no enforcement mechanism, with communist China who want to see the destruction of Western civilization, the destruction of American freedom. And I don't mean this in the ISIS way, like they just don't like that you're decadent. They want to be the world's only economic superpower, and they see, kind of like extremists, Islamists, they want a caliphate for the world.
Yeah.
The communist Chinese government, they want a world communist government. That's what they believe is the ultimate solution. Don't be confused. Biden now, with no enforcement mechanism, he's trusting Xi Jinping, a man he openly called a dictator. This is, how do I know that he knows this has no teeth? Because he said it himself after the meeting.
After today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator? This is a term that you used earlier this year.
Well, look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator in the sense that he is the guy who runs a country that is a communist country that's based on a form of government totally different than ours. Anyway, he makes
That sounds bad enough, right? That's bad. We have another angle of that clip. Watch Secretary Blinken. Watch him in two key moments when the question is asked and then when the answer comes. Just watch what he does.
Okay.
President, after today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator? This is a term that you used earlier this year.
Well, look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator in the sense that he is the guy.
Those hands.
That is his facial expression, like, fudge!
He's going, why did you say there was one, Joe?
Oh, come on. I'm sorry. He's looking and you see him like wringing his hands. I'm not kidding. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
Lord, oh, Lord. And then he answered and he goes, and he knows he's on camera. And that's the best.
He can't help it.
Inside, he's
Can't
dying.
help it. So, yeah, I trust him.
It's like he's like, oh, we should have got a teleprompter.
Yes.
Oh, where's that
Joe.
earpiece?
Leave. You crapped your pants, Joe. Run.
He just has a Newsom signal that he's hitting a button for in the sky.
Yeah, there's just kids off the stage that he needs to smell.
Yeah.
Chinese kids smell different.
Think of it. Yes.
That wasabi.
You're being a pedophile and you're mixing Asian cuisine, Joe.
Fair point.
Think of Winston Churchill. You cannot negotiate with a tiger when your head it's in its mouth. He's like, a head's in its mouth, Yeah. That's all he's saying. And just trust it anyway. That's
like
why
he's
this guy has
repeating
no
it.
respect. Like you were saying, he's a dictator, but I trust him. And by the way, now they're becoming much closer. So with this warming of relations, they've decided to cash in on some buddy film reboots, like Big Trouble in Little China. Right there, that's nice.
Oh, yeah.
No trouble.
No Trouble and Big China. Oh, that's actual China. And then they also, they have Shanghai Fentanyl is one there. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Last one just seems like a Western. I don't really think about it. So,
Yeah, they're just making a reboot.
yes. But again, and I will say this with the fentanyl thing, you guys can comment. Horrible, right? Fentanyl itself, but it's also something like, let's be honest about what the opioid epidemic is. It's not a bunch of people who are accidentally being dosed with, for example, fentanyl in hospitals. They're dosing other drugs, other street drugs with fentanyl. And that's a problem. You can get cocaine now and it may have fentanyl. Someone may think they're getting heroin, and honestly, heroin is the least of their worries.
Yeah.
That being said, I also think that a lot of politicians are misrepresenting this, where they're making it seem like you're going in to get a wisdom tooth removed and you're now addicted to Vicodin, which could be laced with fentanyl. Nope. The vast majority of opioid deaths have taken place since prescribing has gone down. And the vast majority of them take place with street drugs, often laced with fentanyl, and then people who became addicted to prescription painkillers usually were addicted to something else. So I just want to be clear about that, because politicians right now just go along with, oh, sure, the opioid epidemic. We need to identify what it is. So then all roads point to, well, where are we getting the fentanyl? The problem is fentanyl. And the problem with fentanyl is China and open borders. Okay? So let's just be clear about that so that people aren't going out just saying, it's not a big pharma thing. This is a big China thing. Big trouble in big China. Okay.
Well,
You think Biden was asking about Great Wall tips?
Yes. What's this?
Thinking about building my own wall.
Yeah.
You got a wall? It's very nice.
Yeah.
how long did that take?
How annoyed were the Mongolians?
Do you have any extra Mongolians? Come over and build me.
Yeah, maybe barbecue.
Just keep those monsters out from the movie.
We're checking number 4.
Yeah. Does your wall still work? I don't know. By the way, times that it was breached, someone was paid. Someone was bribed with the Great Wall.
Every time.
Yep.
You just open the door. It's weird how the walls work.
Yeah, just grease his palms and the one object you can see from, what is it, one of three objects you can see from space? Yeah, you can just walk right in. Like it's a Hyatt place on a Tuesday. Okay.
Watch Ladder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.